Back, guys, to the GSL Code. We're in our third match. The players, for those of you guys who didn't check, are Lin and Tassadar. Lin, of course, on the team We Made Fox, and Tassadar on the team NS Hosa. So
yes, he did recently change teams, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he was on NSP before, I believe. So recent team swapper. It's been going on a lot here recently. It's actually something you don't see in the Korean scene a lot is players leaving teams and joining foreign teams or switching teams. You just really don't see that a lot here, but it's starting to happen, and I think it's okay.
Well, it's important to get in a nice, comfortable environment with your team as well, because they're the ones who are going to be around you 24/7. You live with them, you practice with them. It is their job in the Korean scene, so it's important to have that chemistry. Otherwise, it just becomes a crappy situation for
Exactly.
everyone.
If you find another team that just better suits you, it's always best to leave. You don't have to leave on bad terms.
No.
You just don't have to do that. But you can leave, and everything's fine.
Well, you can if you want to, but it's not advisable.
Right.
But no,
All right, so there's Lin. He has quick hands and good game sense. He has very few teammates to practice with. That's actually something I talk about with We Made Fox players all the time, is they just don't have that many players to practice with yet.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing the future of We Made Fox. I've actually spoken very briefly with the manager of the team, and things are going to get interesting soon, I have to say.
Well, a lot of their players still play a lot of Warcraft 3 as well.
Yep.
So not only do they have very few practice partners, they also have to split their time between Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2.
Yeah, and then there's, of course, the Brood War players for We Made Fox. With all of their contracts and stuff, get very complicated, so it's going to be very difficult for We Made Fox to switch to StarCraft 2, but they, of course, eventually will. Now, his opponent is Tassadar here. He doesn't have any notes on him.
No.
We don't know. Oh, yeah, we do. He has OGS MC and OGS Inca to practice with. I don't actually think that's the case.
No.
That's what we heard about OGS Hero. And I'm pretty sure that Tassadar is non-OGS. But that's all right. Some interesting facts about Tassadar was that he actually died and then didn't die in the campaign of StarCraft 1. And is quite the hero. He was a Phoenix, or not Phoenix, a High Templar, I believe, when he was the hero unit. It's been so long since I played through that story, I kind of want to go back and do it.
Here we go, both these players. Brilliant. Maps are going to be for set 1, Belshir Beach, set 2, Terminus Re, and then for finally, Zelnaga Fortress. Interesting to see 2 of those newer GSL maps in there.
Yeah. I don't actually know exactly how the veto process goes for Code A.
Each player vetoes one map,
That's
and
what
then
I thought.
it's random.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was random, but I wasn't sure if they got the veto or not, because normally we see the vetoes there, and I just
They only get one veto, though.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Terminus Re is a map that a lot of players really like, so I'm not surprised to see that in the pool. Fortress is a pretty balanced map. Belshir Beach, though, is one of those maps where a lot of people haven't really practiced on it just yet. It's one of the newer maps out there, and right now, Zergs have been doing extremely well on that map. But for PvT, we haven't seen
I believe
that many
they
games
just
on
recently
it, so.
changed it as well. I know they did for the Team League anyway. They can't. They didn't allow you to use it for 1 week because they were changing something with it. I'm assuming it was a balance issue, but we'll see how we go in this one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it's been changed when it loads up. I may not even notice. It might have been a tiny change. We'll find out here in a second because the map is loading.
So it is going to be TVP.
Yeah, TVP. Lin versus Tassadar. This is game 1 for those of you guys who are just tuning in. I am Wolf, and with me is Unstable. We're here at the GSL Code A. I'm no longer the lone wolf. I've got a lot of company with me now.
Well, I was at the GOM house. I couldn't really not just sit there and let you do it all yourself.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came down to help me out. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the Gun Run and Torch for helping out as well. They helped out earlier today, so I wanted to
And
give them a
tomorrow,
shout out.
someone else very special is going to help you as well.
That's true. All right, over here at the bottom right, Teal Terran, member of the team We Made Fox, doesn't have a ton of results in StarCraft 2, but has been improving significantly. He is...
폭스린
a very embarrassed Gisato over there. There he is, though. We Made Fox Lin. He's a pretty scary Terran. His opponent, the name of a hero, fights for the Protoss. On the team, NS Hosa.
NS Hosa Tassadar.
One of our Korean commentators thinks he is actually Tassadar. Points at himself.
I believe this is the first time in the booth as well for Tassadar.
Yes, I believe so as well. Actually, I take it back. I think he played in a team league once or something.
That's true.
I actually wasn't able to follow that team league very much, the last team league, because I was traveling. So I don't know the exact matches, but I think he did play in the team league a few times.
Absolutely. So these two guys matching up on Belshire Beach. We have not seen very many games at all. I think the only two recently I've seen were in the team league, and it was specifically used for a ZVP.
Yeah. And that's just because right now Zergs have been dominating on this map. I mean, Nesty, I believe it was, lost his hatchery to a bunker and then still won in this map once.
Yeah, but this is Nesty we're talking about.
I know, that's true, but I mean, come on, unstable. So I actually don't see any glaring changes on this map right from the start. It looks like the ramps may have been moved a little bit, but I can't tell.
It could quite possibly be the old one.
That's also true. It's definitely a possibility. It could be the old map.
What are the changes you see in these? Ooh.
The Zelnaga watchtowers, they exist. I don't think there were Zelnaga watchtowers on this map before. And the middle of the map looks completely different, actually. There's wider spaces. Okay.
We'll find out when we get home, look online, and people are just telling us, no, we're wrong, or yes, we're right.
No, yeah, the towers were never there before. I've actually never seen this tower before. Okay. It looks really cool, actually. So right now, for Tassadar, he has taken both gases. He actually got a Zealot. Sometimes you see players skip that Zealot, but he did decide to make it. And right now, for Lin back at home, he's doing a 2 barracks type of play, similar to what we see QXC do. Get the reactor up, get the tech lab. It's actually not just QXC does this build, it's actually one of the safest and most common TVP builds out there. It's just I see him practice it all the time. I follow up when I watch him do it, and I say, oh, you could have done this better, you know.
He says no.
Yeah, QXC and I have some awesome arguments. You'll be seeing QXC a lot more soon, actually very soon. More details on that tomorrow.
But either way,
yeah.
looks like we're starting off with 3 gateways here for Tassadar.
I think most likely we're going to see that build I was talking about, where you get the 3 gates, you pressure a little bit, and then expand. He did make he has sentries in production though, so he's going to be mostly making sentries. It's not going to be very aggressive. It's going to be more of a defensive 3-gate rather than an aggressive one. Stalkers, of course, lend themselves to being aggressive. This is a pretty scary force for Lin moving out though.
Yeah, it does look a bit. It's weird because a lot of the times you see this map, everyone usually fast expands.
That's true. Even though it's an extremely difficult map to fast expand on because the natural is very wide, it has 3 entrances.
There we go. Looks like Lin's moving forward with his forces over here. He's actually got an SCV scouting around for some proxies by the looks of it, down at the bottom of the map as well. Here we go, SCV moving forward. There's only 2 sentries and a Zealot down here. Stalker hitting up from the top. Nice force field, catches 1 Marine off guard. He's going to get this Zealot though.
Yeah, not the best control there by Tassadar. Could have easily saved that Zealot. He's actually not using the Stalker on the high ground. He had it there originally, but stopped using it for some reason.
I think it was trying to attack the Marine and walked away around to try and get more in range.
But again, he is going to come out on top in this fight, but lost a lot more units than he needed to. And now these Marines are just going to try to do what they can. They can't really retreat. They will be chased down. And will he kill this Stalker? Whoa!
Getting a lot more units.
And that wasn't even like good control by Lin. That was actually just Tassadar completely botching that defense.
Well, you got to factor nerves into these guys as well.
That's true.
It looks like Tassadar's going to expand off of this.
I think I noticed another change in this map. Again, I don't know this map as well as a lot of the pros do because it's not on the ladder and I don't practice on these maps as much. I've watched a lot of play on these maps when my team plays on them. But again, it's been very new for me. My team hasn't been here for that long. But it looks to me, right now, someone's going to post me on Twitter and be like, you're completely wrong, Wolf. It looks to me like there are only 2 entrances to the natural now, and they're very different looking than they were before. There's no kind of backdoor rocks type of entrance that they had before.
Oh, true.
So, all right, again, a little engagement here. There are a lot of sentries. You may be able to trap these units. And
like
does
that?
trap a Marauder. Nice. This is actually looking really scary for Lin because there's a probe here. He's going to make a pylon in that water.
Does have a bunker going down in its natural though, just to be prepared for this. It does take a little bit too. It's going to be a little bit too slow, I think, as Tassadar is moving forward. He's got a lot of sentries, only 1 Zealot here. Going to be very careful with his force fields. There goes the Guardian Shield. There's the force field. Nicely done. Going to pick off that Marauder. He's actually focusing down that Marauder by the looks of it. Good choice. Needs to get that SCV building the bunker. There we go.
Does
biding his time.
A lot of those units, picks them off. The bunker taking a lot of hits as well. And up goes Guardian Shield, and I don't know if Lin can actually hold this. Now remember, back at home, Tassadar already has a Nexus up. And he may actually just target down this command center, force the units to come out to try to defend.
Got a couple of Marauders on the high ground here as well, trying to save that command center. But Tassadar's already done what he came here to do. He wants to get rid of that expansion.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to try to push in because, of course, there is that high ground to defend. He is making another pylon, though. He may try to end the game. He has transferred his probes to the natural. There's an SCV watching on. And this command center has actually landed, trying to maybe help wall off here. Nice little force field. Those units can't get out.
There we go. He's actually making that into an orbital as well. He's getting a lot of fire from the high ground there. Nice force field. All the Marines squeezed through. There goes all the SCVs being pulled as well. But the longer that Tassadar can keep him in here, the better off he'll be.
Exactly. I mean, he's 10 supply up, but that's the significant thing really is that he's not mining from that command center. His orbital is just now done. That command center is actually very low on hit points as well. Back at home, he has added a robotics facility. Remember, he has that Nexus up and running. He's mining from it. And Lin looks like he is just going to move his command center further away to make sure it doesn't get taken out. And that SCV that was watching on finally gets taken out.
Can't be happy with what he saw there, though.
No, he cannot be happy with what he's seen there. Now, a starport is being made. Factory adding a reactor, so he's just going to go ahead and swap those immediately. Going to start getting medevacs out. And that's the scary timing when you don't have AoE and you don't have +1 armor and your opponent has stim and medevacs out. It gets pretty difficult to deal with that.
It does. But looking here, he's actually 20 supply down at the moment compared to Tassadar. That expansion is really starting to help him out here. Both mules going to work here in the main for Lin, and I think he's just going to give up. Here we go, Tassadar just moving back, doesn't want to waste any units that he doesn't have to. And I'm not sure whether he's going for some more tech. There it is, there's the robotics bay. Going to see some Colossus as well.
Yeah, he's about 17 workers ahead, killed a lot of SCVs there. Forced the command center to fly around a lot, so there was a lot of time where he wasn't making it. He's going to lose his pylon, that's fine. The Marines are kind of dancing around it. Celebratory pylon kill there. And now the medevacs are starting to pop out. Again, this is the really scary timing where you can do a lot of damage if your opponent isn't prepared, but already the bay is almost finished. He's got units positioned down here at the bottom of his main. Loses another pylon, but Tassadar's got those units positioned at the bottom of his main. No dropships are going to catch him off guard there at the back. And he has enough units to hold the front if he needs to.
Looks like both these guys just going to sit back in a macro mode here for a while. We do have extended thermal lance on the way, being chrono boosted here, as well as a first Colossus.
The Observer comes through the middle of the map, spots the army of Lin, and he's going to come into the main actually and see exactly what's going on.
Still sitting comfortably at 20 supply ahead here for Tassadar though, so he's got to be feeling pretty safe.
Indeed. Again, having his unit split just to be prepared for those drops. And in fact, 2 drops coming over here at the left side, the back of Tassadar's main. Will he hold these?
Be interesting. He's also got 2 Stargates in production.
Yeah, this is actually a style that's really, really popular right now. I use it all the time. I think it's actually the best TVP style. Once you get enough Colossi out, you just make Phoenixes and Colossi and very few gateway units. He's going to try to attack at 2 fronts. Here come the drops, and actually, maybe he will target these drops down.
He does get 1 dropship going down, losing quite a few units as well. Warping and Zealots as Lin is focusing down these stalkers as best he can. Only Zealots left, but he is taking a lot of damage as well. He's been forced out at the natural as well, I think. Here comes the Colossus coming through. There's still that factory scouting as well, though.
Yeah, he's actually thinking about pressuring at the front. He just doesn't have enough units, though. He's about 30 supply behind. It's very, very difficult to deal with this. And once you get ahead like this and you get the Phoenixes coming out, I actually think this is the best style to play in TVP on a map like this.
Well, you can also stop a lot of drops happening.
Exactly.
You can also deal with the Vikings.
They're great for the Vikings, and then once you have the Phoenixes out, how likely is your opponent going to drop you? If he sends some dropships over and you have Phoenixes over there, he just loses those drops and they can't do anything. He can try to drop his Marines out. Psh, that's not going to really, I mean, that's not ideal. So, this type of style I think is the best way to secure a third base.
He's also getting +1 air attack to help with those Phoenixes as well. I like that choice.
Yeah, he's playing it exactly like I do, man. That's how you do it. I believe it was Kiwi Cock who actually started doing this in the foreign scene first, and I actually watched his play and I said, you know, that's actually really creative. You can actually support 2 Stargates and 1 Robo off of 2 base. And I started doing it and people started picking up on it. Saw it a lot actually in the very first Team League on Tal'Darim Altar. It's just becoming a more popular style. It kind of fell out of popularity for a while, getting more popular now.
We saw it in the TSL recently as well.
Yeah. I'm actually talking about this strategy like it's a line of clothing. I'm like, it was kind of popular for a while. It was like a little trendy, and people stopped wearing it. Now people are wearing it because Wolf started wearing it, and now everyone's got to do it.
Exactly. So, sitting back here, neither one of them looks like they're ready to take a third base hit. I think we're going to see a 2-base just attack coming in from Tassadar once he maxes out.
Yeah, when you have this this Phoenix-based army, you can take a third base, but you just don't have to. And basically, you just continue to bully your Terran opponent. Once you get to around 160, 170 supply, you start attacking a little bit, and you just check and you keep checking to see if he has a third. If he ever makes one, then you attack him. If he doesn't make one, you can attack him if you want. As you take your own third, you just have a lot of different options. You can kind of turtle up. And now this Nexus has been spotted. He's going to have to cancel that right away.
I think he's going to notice in time.
He did not notice. He did not cancel that Nexus.
I think this might provoke an attack coming in here from Tassadar as well, just given that there's a lot of Phoenixes on the field. +1 attack is just finishing for those air weapons, and it looks like Lynn wants to take that gold base.
Smart move by Lin to take the gold, but can he hold it? He's so far behind in supply right now. Taking the gold base is one thing that'll really help him get back into this, but he doesn't even have a command center just yet. He has a Ghost Academy, which can be quite good against this type of composition.
It will stop a lot of the lift-ups once the Vikings are done.
Yep, and Phoenixes have a tendency to clump. Well, the problem is when you do this, you don't make that many Stalkers, you make mostly Zealots because the Phoenixes take care of the anti-air for you. So Zealots just don't really care that much about EMPs. And it looks like this little attack here by Tassadar is going to be so strong. He has +1 weapons as well. Lin has +1, but the AoE going to be so strong.
Here we go. Oh, nice EMPs. It does miss all the Phoenixes, though. Here we go. Vikings going to work on the Colossus, but I think there's going to be too many Phoenixes. The Viking count is dropping. There's only 4 left, but he is doing a great job against all of these Colossus. The Zealots are absolutely gone. Oh my god, there's only a couple of units here left for Tassadar. All the Marines down at the bottom. Is he lifting them up now? And this is a very, very close trade.
Yeah, that was actually one of the closest trades I've ever seen. The problem now, though, is that he has nothing to deal with these Phoenixes. He doesn't have missile turrets. He's got a bunker or two, but that's not really going to be something he wants to use long term. Land a Viking, that's not going to help. And all these Marauders will fall, and more Colossi will rally forward here shortly. This is looking really bad for Lin. In fact, right now, Tassadar can take a third base if he wants to. He's just killed so many units. He can just camp those barracks. What's going to happen?
Exactly.
Nothing can stop him.
He has so many Phoenix, it's not really going to matter because the energy is going to recharge on them so much. Having a look here, he still has about 10 lifts.
Yeah, or possibly even more. Now, I like that he's using these Phoenixes to kind of camp these production facilities because there's no way to really deal with it. He can actually kill all of these Marines, and in fact, he just will.
Yep. Goodbye.
And once this happens, you just can't do anything. It's actually almost impossible to come back. You can't make a missile turret. I mean, you can try. He's trying right there. But he's just gonna pick up. He's gonna pick up
everything
and kill
up.
him. And I think, unfortunately for Lin, it's hard to go out like this, but he's gonna lose like this.
Just can't do anything against those Phoenixes. They're gonna sit there. He's now losing a lot of supplies, down to 61 and 122 here. For
I mean, he basically has just SCVs and a few units hiding in a bunker, hoping they don't get lifted. And if you look back, we'll get a shot of it in a second. He's taking that third base, and there's what I wanted to get a shot of. He's got the Colossi, he's got more Zealots. He can basically end the game when he wants to.
Yeah, he can. But I think he's just going to play it safe, doesn't want to risk it. And the longer he keeps in this game, the longer he's going to get inside the head of Lin.
Exactly. Killed a Ghost. The Marauders over there, he's making mostly Marauders because he knows the anti-air just isn't going to work. The Marauders just stay alive longer. He's trying to keep those Marauders next to the missile turret. Keep them alive. 1 Phoenix goes down, but for about 3 or 4 Marauders, definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
And here comes the attack. That bunker can't even hold.
No, he is running all his Marines away, but he can just lift them simply. We do have a stim coming in from the Marauders, but too many Phoenixes. The command center is going to go down. He's trying to repair it as best he can, and here we go, lifting up all these units here as well. Fuel's being dropped to try and repair.
He will repair it, at least temporarily, but that's it. GG. No way to hold that one, man.
Yeah, it just really ended right when he traded with that army, but he just didn't kill any of the Phoenixes.
Yeah, if the Phoenixes stay alive and you have nothing to deal with them, you don't have missile turrets, nothing's ever going to come out of those barracks. They just won't. You'll just kill them as
we
they
just
come
saw.
out. Yeah. So, nice moves there by Tassadar. I like that style. I actually recommend anyone who's kind of struggling into the mid-game when the Vikings come out, don't don't just go, oh, I'll add some more gateways, I'll make more stalkers. I recommend making 2 star gates. You're on 2 base. You make mostly zealots. You make phoenixes. You can get +1. I like to get it. You don't necessarily have to. And then once you do that, you kind of have this army that's quote-unquote unstoppable. You have everything to deal with what your opponent's going to have, and it just allows you to kind of control the mid-game. You shut down the drops. There's this initial investment moment where you're like, I got to make these 2 Stargates, but then after that, everything seems to be fine.
Yeah, as long as you keep a cool head and don't worry about the Viking count, you should be fine. So we are going to go into our next game on Terminus Re. Interesting map. It's definitely going to play into Tassadar's style there by the looks of it with the Phoenixes.
Exactly. You can do this style on this map very easily, even easier because you can take that fast third base. Now, you don't want to do this style when your opponent has already 2 starports. You won't be able to necessarily keep up. But the thing is, 1 or 2, even just 1 Stargate with a Chrono Boost will be able to keep up with a reactive starport. So if you have 2, not only does 1 Phoenix beat 1 Viking, but they will just never be able to have 1-1 with you. You'll always have more Phoenixes because you can just build them so much faster than they can. So
yeah, that is very interesting. So this map, I really think we're going to see more Phoenixes coming out from Tassadar.
I think so.
But on the same token, I have seen him play a lot with the guys at back at the Golem House, and he does definitely have a lot of risky all-in builds in his repertoire. He does have
all-ins, and the map Terminus Re is not a map you often see all-ins on, so it might just be the last thing his opponent expects.
Exactly. So as we go into this game, it's going to be the last hope here for Lin. Does not want to get knocked out of the Code A. We're going to have to go back through those qualifiers, especially when he doesn't have that many practice partners to prepare for it. It's going to be difficult.
Yep, the map's loaded. We're going to jump into this in just a minute. I'm Wolf. With me is Unstable. We're here casting the GSL Code A.